Yo, yo, back once again, another EP review. This is your boy Triborough, That Ain't Rap podcast. Yesterday I discussed the newly released EP from Action Bronson Alchemist. That was Lamb Over Rice, solid project. Today I'm discussing another EP that dropped early this year over the summer, back in July. Didn't even know that when I was listening to the Bronson EP. Came across this other EP and I was like, oh, I like this group. Never talked about their stuff before. Let me do it now. So, gonna be discussing this Chicago rap duo, Cool Kids, Anton, Son Michael Rocks, Reed, and Evan Chuck English, Ingersoll. Little backstory with them. Came across their music like back in '08 when they dropped the Bake Sale mixtape. Thought it was fire. They as a group they met on MySpace, I believe. It was back in '05 they met and they hooked up and made a group called the Cool Kids. They released a mixtape on MySpace called Totally Flossed Out. That's like a play on words from the Crisscross debut album Totally Crossed Out from '92. If you all remember Crisscross, they got the big hit single Jump and Warm It Up and other songs like that from Jermaine Dupri. So they came out with a mixtape on MySpace called Totally Crossed Out in '07. And then the Bake Sale was in '08. That was my introduction to them. Then Gone Fishing, that was another mixtape that came out in '09. That was a dope mixtape. Um, then they dropped their first album when Fish Ride Bicycles in 2011. I remember hearing that off of Dat Piff. That was a dope album. Ghostface was on that album. Pharrell did some production on there. Real dope album. Then they had problems with their label. I forgot what label they got signed to. They had problems with their label right after they released when Fish Ride Bicycles, and then so Michael Rocks, he went solo and he signed with Currency's label Jet Life Recordings. I remember checking out his mixtape. His first mixtape was Premier Politics. That was in 2011 as well. Check that out. That was a dope mixtape. I loved it. And he dropped another mixtape called Lap of Lux in 2012. That was another banging mixtape. Um, and his official album was Banco in 2014, and he had the first single Memo, which was a banging joint. I remember watching the video for that and checking that album out. And so I've been listening to the Cool Kids for a couple years, and they always came out with consistent stuff. You know, right after the group broke up, and Chuck English released his mixtape, and he had a couple mixtapes he released, and then he released his first album, Convertibles. That was a dope album. I think Chuck English is a dope producer. He got some beats. He has like some dope boy fresh type of beats. I like to call it. It's reminiscent of like the '80s type of dope boy fresh music. With a little trap thrown in there. And the group broke up um after the last album they did when Fish Ride Bicycles in 2011, and then Sir Michael went solo. Chuck English went solo. He's working on some stuff with Mac Miller. Rest in peace to Mac Miller. He was working with I think Absol. Did some stuff with some other artists. Then they on Twitter, Chuck English announced that they got back together in 2016. They came out with their album in 2017, special edition Grandmaster Deluxe. That was dope. Got some dope joints on there. My favorite joint on there was Check Out. And yeah, then they released this joint unknowingly. I didn't even know they came out with a EP this year. They released a EP with Alchemist, 3 joints. Boldy James is on 2 joints. Boldy James is an artist from Detroit. Alchemist did a mixtape with him called My First Chemistry Set a couple years ago, and then he's supposed to be doing a new album with Bodie James soon, so look out for that. But definitely wanted to talk about this EP, and yeah, let's get it started. The first track is called Layups. It's a dope boom bap monotone beat, spacey melody. Chuck English warns people don't shoot if it's not a layup. Fire joint. Sir Michael says playing chess on a crystal set. Ice chip brick baguettes. My weed smell like deer piss mixed with sweat. We nomadic for money whenever we wherever it's at. Fire joint by Sir Michael. Chuck English, I like his lines where he says, "Look, dog, I just passed you the ball. If that's more than you can handle, don't be stepping out of bounds. You full court trapping, I ain't even got a foul. This big shot, clock make it time out." Fire joint. Then you got Bodie James talking shit at the end of the song, and that's dope. My favorite joint on here. And Polanski is the second track. It's a jazzy melody, horns, the hi hats, the piano keys, real dope. We got Sir Michael and Boldy James trading balls on this. Boldy says, "I'm rocking vintage Lagerfeld. It ain't hard to tell. Me and Asriel on all the blues like I'm Gargamel." And then, he got that's the Smurf reference he made with Asriel, the cat, and Gargamel to Rising the Smurfs. Y'all remember that cartoon from back in the 80s or whatever? And then the Wire reference, he has a Wire reference. He says, down with the cartel from Harlow to Arsdale, on Marlow, on Stansfield, on Avon, on Barsdale. Dope Wire reference. Great show, The Wire. And then uh, that was dope. That was a dope collab with Boldy and Sir Michael. The last track, number three, you got What the F. It's dope, eerie melody, boom bap beat. And Sir Michael, he says, "I'm way too early, but I'm fashionably late. I wake up early when I'm cracking the safe. Chef Luciano's the Kusha Minds is common sense. She did some scams with her friends, then she got a Benz." And then Boldy says, "Been feeling so iconic lately, might get a tattoo." What he said? I got the sauce and the gravy. I've been dripping swagoo. I told my baby my Mercedes mean more to me than her. All of this blood, sweat, and tears, to me, this shit was a blur. Fire joint, you know, that's another. I think both joints with Boldy were fire, even though it's only three tracks. I think both of those tracks were dope. Alchemist definitely did his thing on the production. The chorus on here, I didn't like the chorus though. I thought the chorus sucked. You got some Michael yelling, "Hey, you ain't cold. Want your shoes and your coat. What you fuck?" Like I didn't care for that. He's screaming on the track, but the track is dope. I think Alchemist did his thing. I wish it was longer. His three tracks is not enough. I think if he stretched it out for like 9, 10 songs, it would have been a dope project. But that's just a sample of what they could do with Alchemist. Because they never really had like outside production before. Chuck English always did the beats with them, but I think Alchemist definitely did his thing on here. Especially on the layups joint, that was fire. That's more of his sound on here, and the Polanski joint is fire. So I hope they get a chance to work again and do like a longer project, or he's featured on their next album. That'll be dope. But yeah, definitely a dope little EP. 3 songs, 3 boom bap tracks by Alchemist, and some swaggy lines by the Cool Kids. Definitely need to check their shit out if you haven't. You know, um, definitely gonna discuss more of their albums in the future. I might do like a Cool Kids discography with Reg or whatever. You know, because I think a lot of people sleep on this group and they're multi talented. So definitely gonna discuss their albums. Maybe I'll do like some mixtape discussion about going fishing or tackle box or one of those mixtapes they did. So yeah, it's your boy Try signing out. That ain't rap. Peace.